Technology. Welcome to the fifth episode of Wave of the Day by Smarlist. I'm Emily, and with me is my brilliant co-host Armin. Today, we're diving into something fascinating: how computers can understand words in a way that's almost human-like.
Thanks, Emily. You know what's really exciting about today's topic is that we're going to explore how researchers at Google revolutionized the way computers understand language. It's all about something called word vectors. Think of them as giving words mathematical superpowers.
Mathematical superpowers. Okay, you've got my attention. But before we go deep into that, can you break down what exactly we mean by word vectors for our listeners?
Pictures this instead of a computer seeing words just as random strings of letters, it sees them as points in space, kind of like coordinates on a map. What's really cool is that similar words end up being closer together in this space.
Right, so you're telling me that computers can actually understand that words like happy and joyful are related. That's pretty mind-blowing.
Exactly. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The researchers found that these word vectors captured really complex relationships. For example, they could solve analogies, and this blew my mind when I first read it.
Analogies like the ones we did in school: apple is to fruit as dog is to. That kind of thing.
Yes, but even more sophisticated. The paper showed that if you do some mathematical operations with these word vectors, like king minus man plus woman, you get something very close to queen. Isn't that incredible?
Hold on, are you saying computers can do math with words? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does sound like sci fi, but it's very real. The researchers developed two new approaches. They call them continuous bag of words and skip gram models. These are basically different ways of teaching computers to understand words in context.
You know what this reminds me of? It's like when kids learn language by understanding context. Like, they might not know exactly what enormous means, but if they hear the enormous elephant couldn't fit through the door, they get it.
That's a brilliant analogy, Emily. And what's particularly exciting about these models is their efficiency. Previous approaches were like trying to teach a language by memorizing an entire dictionary. These new models are more like learning through conversation, much faster and more natural.
So, what can we actually do with this technology? I mean, besides winning at word puzzles.
Oh, the applications are endless. Think about machine translation, for instance. But my favorite example from the paper was how it could understand city country relationships. If you gave it Paris and France, it could figure out that Rome goes with Italy or Tokyo with Japan.
That's incredible. Though I have to ask, how accurate is all this? It seems almost too good to be true.
The researchers were actually very thorough about testing this. They created a comprehensive test set with both semantic and syntactic questions. We're talking about nearly 20,000 questions, and their best models achieved accuracy rates that were significantly better than previous approaches.
I'm curious about the practical impact. How might our listeners encounter this technology in their daily lives?
Well, if you've ever used Google Translate, or if your email app suggests responses, or if you use any modern search engine, you're probably benefiting some version of this technology. It's become a fundamental building block of modern AI language understanding.
This has been absolutely fascinating, and I love how this research opens up so many possibilities for the future. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yes, I think what's most exciting is that this is just the beginning. The researchers mentioned that training these models on even larger datasets could lead to even better results. We might be looking at a future where computers truly understand the nuances of human language.
Well, there you have it, listeners. From word mathematics to sci-fi like language understanding. This has been Wave of the Day by Smallest. Until next time, keep riding that wave of innovation.
We might be looking at a future where computers truly understand the nuances of human language.
Well, there you have it, listeners. From word mathematics to sci-fi, like language understanding, this has been Wave the Day by smallest.a. Until next time, keep riding that wave of innovation.